Hi everyone, time for another snail picture. Look at this little cutie, very sweet. And I thought we would do a blue shell today. I know this looks like bricks and you sort of think brick colour, but let's do something different. So as we're doing the blue shell, I thought we'd do the Dove Grey, which is number 83 from our Staedtler Design Journey pencils for the snail. Sorry, I didn't tell you what book this is from. This is from Rita Berman's Lande book, and this is the page with all the little snails on. So here is the Dove Grey, and I'm just going to start colouring really. To me this looks slightly bluey. It's a rather pretty one, I think, and so it just seemed the right one to choose to go with a bluey shell. So I'm just putting down a sort of reasonably even layer. I always say reasonably because I'm not very good at colouring really evenly, which is why I tend not to. So I'm just doing the best I can, and it'll be changed in a minute anyway. And if you look at most objects, the colour isn't really even, unless it's a sort of man-made dye thing, but in nature you don't tend to get really even colours. So I'm just putting a little bit more down on this line, like that, and then I'm just going to put a bit more on the bottom. I feel like the snail would be a little bit darker at the bottom here. So I'm just putting more colour there and then sort of spreading it up a bit. A bit more on the top as well, just to help give it some shape, like that. And then I'm thinking maybe it would be darker on each side of this part of the body. And if we just bring the colour in a bit, it'll sort of look slightly rounded and shiny, I hope. It's a bit tricky. There we go. There she is. I think that's okay. It's quite simple, but I'm happy with that. Now I think we can use a variety of different blues for the shell. We have, I want my very darkest blue, which is 33. I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, 33 is the cobalt blue. Sorry. And I'm going to use it for this sort of background bit in here, where Rita's sort of drawn in these darker bits as if it's supposed to be shadowy in those corners, and I just feel like layering up this slightly darker blue will have a good effect. And we'll just do all of the sort of background with this one. Now I am pondering as I colour the cheeks of our snail. Now last time I did them in a pink, a light pink, because we'd used a light pink in the page. The shell was a light pink. And then the time before I did them red, because we'd used a little bit of red in our mushroom and on our front door. So this time I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Because I'm using blue. I'm not sure that blue is an appropriate colour. But on the other hand, if I'm following the trend of what I've been doing so far, I need a colour from within the picture. Now, I don't want to be manipulative and use, say, a pink or a red just to make it work. You know, use one in my picture so I can use it on there, on the cheeks. So I'm thinking, I'm going to have to do it blue. Now I'm also going to use this same blue for this sort of background areas between these arch bits here. Work all the way along, just in the same way. I'm just blocking it in really because I think it's sort of a shadowy part. And you can just colour over and over until it's dark enough for you. I'm going to leave it there and we'll just see how it sits with our other colours. Now I think I'm going to go a little lighter, a little more obviously lighter, just so that you can see the difference. So this is number 63, which is the Delft blue. And although Delft blue is normally darker than cobalt blue, I think, it isn't in these pencils. Look, this one is fairly pale. I'm going to do it dark on the edges of this shell part, then lighten it towards the middle a little bit. Do that all the way along. Oh, it's 12:15. There's football on. Might put it on while we have lunch. Could be a little bit entertaining for us. Her husband had high hopes of England. But I think there's 2 matches on at once today. It's only the 1st of August. And I think because it's the last in the group stages, if anyone knows anything about football. So they played the 2 last matches at the same time because their scores sort of depend on each other. And it makes it a bit more exciting, I think. Both viewers and players. Okay, now we have all this. Oh, actually, I think I'm also going to use it for this bit and this bit. And then we'll switch to a lighter colour. So I'm trying to put more colour on the edges, less in the centre. Hopefully that shows. Sorry, my hand's creating a shadow today. I don't know why. Perhaps I'm using a strange angle. Like that. Now what about the window frame? I think we'll use this too. Now with the window frame, sometimes it's nice to put it a little bit darker in the corner, then lighten it towards the top a bit. Do the same down here, it's a bit darker here, just layer it up, and then gently do less layers towards the top. And then here, I think we'll keep it even across the bottom. There we go, and I think going with blue. You might not like that. You might want to go with pink or red. You can. This is number 30, which is the light blue. I'm going to use that for the bricks. I'm going to try to make the bricks a little darker around the edge and a little bit lighter in the middle. You don't have to do this in your bricks, you can just keep them plain. I think it just makes them look a little bit more interesting. Just isn't working particularly well anyway. And we'll just progress through. So we're supposed to be getting some sunnier weather here in the UK. I guess towards the time this video is coming out, which will please quite a few people. But actually, this summer just feels like the summer of my childhood. You know, odd bits of sunshine and lots of rain. It always used to feel like summer was like that, and it makes it much easier for the gardens, the crops, everything else to grow. And but people like sunshine, and with the European countries being so unbearably hot, I think people are hoping for something here that was somewhere in between. It looks like it might be on its way, but we'll just have to see. You can never tell with the UK weather, particularly where we live. We live in we've got a little microclimate in the town where we live. Not only is it more humid because the wind, we're in a valley, so there's less wind. Sometimes it just doesn't rain because the cloud just can't get over the hill. But other times the cloud gets stuck and it rains and rains and rains. So it can be quite interesting, to be honest, but not when it floods. Although that rainstorm we had when it flooded so badly was absolutely fascinating to watch and to be part of, and the thunder, I'd never heard anything like it in my old 50 years. But it you know, normally it's not that exciting. But my sister interestingly noticed how muggy it was here compared to where my parents live, which is not far away. They're probably, I'm no good at guessing, 15 miles? It's not really very far. So, but because they live where they are, it's not on the top of the hill by any stretch, but it's not in the valley either. They have got some hills around them, around the town, but they're quite far away, so it's a little bit different. Right, for our flowers, or I'm not thinking they're flowers, I'm thinking they're berries. For the actual stems, I'm going to use the hooker's green. I think this looks blue, not green, but it's called hooker's green, so my brain lets me do it for stems, but when I put it down, I'm thinking it looks so blue. I'm just going to do try and do the bottoms a little bit darker, but just going to try and fade it a bit towards the tip. There we go. But yes, it's it can be quite exciting, but not normally. Normally the weather is just dull. Literally dull, cloud, and that's it. Cloudy. It's definitely sunny again at the minute. There we go. Now the berry things, berry things, I want to, let me think. We could do them really pale, and then they would look different. I think the really pale, the pastel blue, 302, I think it'd actually go better with this colour. I was thinking of doing the number 3 blue, but I don't think it will go very well. I'm hoping this will work. I'm going to try and do them a little bit lighter towards the centre. And then we've just got the other one to go. You could do them different colours, but I feel that they're going to be the same. It looks like they're attached to the same part of a plant. There we go. Now let's have a little look at them. Yeah, now we haven't done the window. Now, what are we going to do? Because I rather like a yellow warming light coming through the window, and even though I've got a blue theme going on, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use number 10, which is the light yellow. Okay. I'm going to try and keep it fairly light as well, so that I feel the colour goes quite well with the blue, although blue matches most yellows, so I think it also goes well with gold. So colouring sort of fairly even yellow, if I can. There we go. I think that will do nicely for our next little snail. That one was a little bit quicker, but the last two are rather more complex. In fact, one of them is actually 3 snails, so those videos will be a little bit longer. So if you haven't done the others yet, today might be a good day to catch up, or catch up with other videos, because this one's only short. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you're colouring along, or colouring snails, or colouring something else. It's always nice to know what's going on. But thank you so much for watching. Have a super day, and happy colouring.